Welcome back everybody for our last video in Personalize Your Plate, our special for National Nutrition Month. We're going to go out with a bang. It'll be a lot of fun. Today we're going to do some lentil dal. So if you're not familiar with lentil dal, it is an Indian vegetarian dish that highlights lentils. And lentils are a really cool legume because they're like the quick cooking champ. These are also a little faster than what you might pick up the green legume or the green lentils in the grocery store. These are split, so they're going to cook from rinsing and sorting and rinsing to cooking in 30 minutes. So really excellent option for weeknight meals if you're in a hurry. And this has a lot of different vegetables, a lot of different flavors and colors, so it'll be a lot of fun. So we'll go ahead and get started. I have already rinsed and sorted and rinsed these lentils here, and we're going to put them in a big pot because our vegetables that we're going to cook after this separately, they're going to come into this pot with our cooked lentils. So we're going to start the lentils in this big one. So this is, again, 1 cup of sorted and rinsed lentils, split red lentils. We're also going to add in 3 cups of water. And we'll start this on a medium-high heat to get it simmering. I am going to keep this more traditional and use ghee, which is clarified butter. It's shelf stable, so you can actually keep this in your cabinet without concern about it going rancid like you would butter. And that's because the milk solids have been taken out, and that's usually what causes the butter to turn faster. So we'll go ahead and put 2 tablespoons of ghee in the pan. And you could opt for vegetable oil if that is what you preferred. Again, I'm just going to play with this recipe, have a little bit of fun. It is a vegetarian option. If you're wanting to really cut back on your saturated fat intake, then definitely go with an oil like a canola. That would be great in this because it's going to be a high smoke point oil. And to our ghee, we'll add in our onion and our ginger and our thinly sliced cloves of garlic. And that's 1 small, I think I have about a medium-sized yellow onion. It also says 1/2 inch of ginger, peeled and minced up. Again, I think I probably, maybe I can't measure very well because I think mine looks a little bit more than that, so it may be a little spicier. And then also the 4 cloves of thinly sliced garlic. And we're gonna just cook this in here by itself for 8 minutes, and then we'll add in our tomatoes. We want this to get nice and browned. Our onions, ginger, and garlic are nice and brown, so we're going to add in our tomatoes, and this is approximately 2 large tomatoes. Again, it's an approximation. You can also use a 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes too. Now we'll stir these around. Canned vegetables are a great option to have in the kitchen. I just happen to have these tomatoes that I needed to cook. Or I probably would have opted for a canned tomato. They come in low sodium or no added salt, and that's an excellent option to have on hand for convenient cooking. To this mixture, we're gonna add in our seasoning. So 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground coriander, and 1 bay leaf, which we'll have to remember to take that out or else it won't be very good to the person that gets it in their plate. Now that our lentils are cooked, since they cooked for about 30 minutes, we're going to add in our vegetables to our bigger pot. You may want to get a rubber scraper to clean out this pan because we are going to reuse this pan to make what's called the tadka. You can wipe it out with some tongs and a paper towel as well to get it really clean. I feel like it's cleaned pretty well with just the rubber scraper, so we'll move on to making the tadka. Since we've added the tomato mixture into our lentils, we're going to mix this very vigorously. We want it to be a cohesive mixture. And you can mash up the lentils to make it more of a creamy texture. Or you can leave it kind of coarse and it's still going to have a really good texture. Just not quite as creamy. Now we'll make the tadka and we will turn our pan up to medium-high heat and add in 2 tablespoons of ghee. And just a reminder, you could always use the canola oil here if you're trying to cut back on your saturated fat intake. Okay, so now we're going to turn it away and make a pool and add in a ½ teaspoon of coarse ground black pepper and a ½ teaspoon of our cumin seeds. Induction plate doesn't like to be removed. And also 2 cloves of coarsely chopped garlic. And then we're going to cover this. And we'll uncover it and add it to our lentils once everything stops sputtering. When the sputtering stops, it should be browned, and at that point, you could also just set it aside and have it in a separate bowl to add in, or you can add it into the lentil mixture. I'm going to go ahead and just put it in, let it get all that goodness. And it is very quick. It is already browned, so it's only a couple of minutes. Now we'll just add this into our lentils. It will brown very quickly, so be very careful to watch it so that it doesn't burn. Now our lentils are done with the tadka added in. It is pretty rich with having as much ghee in it as it does. You could even do, possibly try doing a 50-50 if you're wanting to maybe still get some of the flavor of the ghee, but not all of the saturated fat. You could try doing 2 tablespoons of the ghee, maybe as the tadka, so you get that nice finishing flavor, but you could use the canola in the initial cooking steps. It doesn't always have to be one or the other. Sometimes we can meet in the middle. This time, to finish out our fun series of international cuisine, I decided to go with a more traditional preparation. But again, you can always try either the all canola or maybe mixing it up and doing 2 of each. This dish smells absolutely wonderful. I'm really excited to have it. I plan on pairing it with some brown basmati rice, so whole grains and the lentils. Maybe it'll kind of balance out that ghee saturated fat. But I hope you've enjoyed this series as much as I've enjoyed leading it, and I hope you enjoy your lentil dal.